So this is for Ray. You wanted a, oh shit, I forgot a screw. You wanted something that you could fly for a long time. So I went with some smaller motors, the lower KV. That should get the job done. So you should be able to fly for a good amount of time. Definitely longer than something else that would have like 1106s on it, or 1306s, 1107s. Because these are 1105 and they're 4000 kV. So these motors, these are actually the motors that started the micro motors. These are the rotorx 1105 4000 kV. These are the very first motors that came out in this size. Rotorx was the ones that made them, and they were the first ones to make a motor this size. And they had put them on the rotorx Atom, which is a 3-inch, and they were pretty badass. They were awesome. And back then, everybody, you know, the micros had just started to come out, and obviously, since, you know, that was the first motor for a micro brushless. Well, actually, I take that back. Just before this, there was those crappy like DP03, I think they were called, and then there were some other ones that were kind of like those, and they were like $30 a piece. It was just insane, and they sucked too. And then that's around when rotorx came out with these, and they were just so sick. Everybody wanted these motors. But yeah, they came on the Atom. So they're made for 3-inch, and this print is kind of weird. It's messing with me because it's like, I want it to be perfect, but it's not wanting to be perfect. When you screw it, the screw kind of grabs the TPU and then it bends it up. Alright, that looks good enough. The prints are really nice. I love that color of blue too. But anyway, so yeah, these motors are made for 3-inch, and believe it or not, they are also made for 5S. So you can run 5S on these motors, which is crazy. I don't know of any other 1105s you can run 5S on. So yeah, these can do 2S, or actually I guess you wouldn't want to do 2S. 3S would probably be the minimum. 3S 3-inch, and then 4S is where they're gonna just be rockets, and then 5S is just insane. I've never flown a micro on 5S. It'd just be crazy. And you probably wouldn't be getting a long flight time. Actually, you wouldn't even be able to fly 4S on this one, because 5S, because the ESCs are only 20 amp, and who knows what 5S would draw. So yeah, maximum I would go on this is 4S, but I would suggest that you fly it on 3S. And I think I had asked you too, and you told me that you have some 650 milliamp hour 3 cells, which is going to be perfect for this. It's not going to be an insane rocket, but it's still going to have tons of power, and you're going to fly for a long time. So yeah, pretty cool frame. I don't know if I would own one. I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't not like it, but there's just so many frames out right now. These props fit very nicely around this motor too. You can definitely tell that these props are made for a 110X motor because of the way it swoops down right on the outside of it. I've actually put these props on 1404s before and had to push down just a tiny bit, but 1105 is just perfect for them. So anyway, enough talking about that shit. I don't know if you can notice this big VTX back here. I love these VTXs. They're so sick. This is the AKK FX2. So it has everything that I love, including a microphone and a LCD screen. So here's all the features. It has MMCX connector, LCD screen, microphone, smart audio, and it's I can't remember exactly the milliwatts, but I know it's something like 25, 200, 400, and 600 milliwatts. So 600 milliwatts is definitely going to get you some good range. So yeah, you're going to have good range and you're going to have longer flight time, so you're going to really enjoy flying this, I think. Put some UMA grip on here. Here's the Tomo Quad's battery strap. It looks pretty nice. It looks pretty much the exact same as the Airblade one and exactly the same as the Rotor Geeks one. All three of them are really nice for micros because they're real narrow. It'd be nice if they had actual rubber. I mean, I think this is rubber, but you know what I mean, like that real grippy rubber that you see on the bigger straps. This still gets the job done, but this is actually a pretty nice strap. And I like that it doesn't have, it's not split right here like the bigger ones are, where it has that lip that just catches on everything when you try to pull it through the frame. So that's nice. Pretty nice strap. And I threw some UMA grip on there for you. I love this stuff. Huge fan of UMA grip. So here's a 653S right here. I love how sticky that is. It's just so awesome. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to test this for you. I did have a Spectrum radio. I went to update it and it gave me some big error. And I emailed Spectrum about it. They told me I needed to ship it to them, so I sent it in to them. Hopefully they can fix it for me for free. But I don't know. But yeah, so now I don't have a Spectrum radio anymore for the time being. But I will spin up the motors for you in Betaflight, and I'll show you how to bind the receiver. The button is right here for the VTX. You can see it, the white button right there. Another thing I did for you too is we didn't fit in the budget for a nice antenna, but I did throw on this foxeer pagoda for you. But what I did was I soldered it directly to the MMCX connector. So if you ever break this antenna, or if you ever just want to get rid of it, you can just snip it off, and then the MMCX connector is right there. You might be able to see it on camera, I don't know, but the connector is right there. You can just plug an antenna right in. So I thought you might like that. The receiver, you got to do the CLI command binding, so I'll show you that if you don't, just in case you don't know how. So let's go to the computer real quick. Alright, so it's plugged in. Go into Betaflight real quick. So for ports, it's UART2 for serial RX. Okay, don't ever mess with this one right here. Don't ever turn that off. You always want that to be on. And then you want UART2 to be on for serial RX, which it is. And then I have smart audio turned on for UART1, but I'm going to turn that off. Disabled. Save and reboot. Configuration, you got it on D-Shot 600. 8K 8K is what we want. Accelerometer, I'll leave that on. Don't need a barometer. Spectrum 2048 serial based receiver. And then we don't need telemetry on. Air mode is good. Dynamic filter is good. Save and reboot. Shit, I forgot to do these ones. Receiver is already set up, TAER 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think I did modes yet, so arm will be auxiliary 1. Spectrum goes this way. Then we'll do angle, horizon, and air mode on auxiliary 2. Oh, air mode's already on, so you don't need that on a switch. Okay, so we'll hit save. Okay, motors tab. So I'll spin up motors 1, 2, and 3 for you, and then I guess I'll have to take a prop off of motor 4. So let me just plug in the battery. And here's motor 1. It's going clockwise, so that's good. Motor 2. It's going counterclockwise. Motor 3. Counterclockwise. And let me go grab my tool real quick. And here's motor 4. And it's going clockwise. So you're all good to go with the motors. We'll go back to everything set up how it should be. So we'll go back to the desk and show you the video real quick. Oh wait, let me show you the binding real fast. So this is how you bind. Plug into Betaflight, click connect, go down to where it says CLI, click on that, and then here you're going to type set spacebar spectrum underscore sat underscore bind space equals space 9. Okay, just like that. And then you're going to hit enter and see it says spectrum sat bind set to 9. So that means it worked. And then you type the word save, S-A-V-E, and then you hit enter. And then it reboots the flight controller. Okay, and then unplug the USB, and then as soon as you plug in your battery, you're going to see the receiver LED start flashing real fast. That means it's ready to bind. So see that? That means it's ready to bind, so then you bind it up to your radio. Okay, and then after it's bound up, turn off your radio, unplug the battery, then come back to the computer, plug back in, click connect. This is after you've bound up to your radio. Click CLI and then do this, set space spectrum underscore sat underscore bind space equals space 0. Okay, then hit enter, and it says set to 0. Then type the word save and hit enter, and that's it. Now you're all done and ready to fly. So let's go back to the desk real quick. We'll plug in the battery, I'll grab my goggles, and we'll show you the video. So right now it is set to channel F1, Fat Shark channel 1. And there it is. It looks like everything's turned on in the OSD, so you can set that up however you like it. So yeah, everything's good to go. Just need to bind it up like I showed you and ready to fly. Alright, Ray, thanks a lot. And I'll be shipping this out tomorrow, Monday. And I'll send you over some tracking. Almost forgot one more thing. So I'm sending it with these tri-blades on here, so you can try those out and see, you know, if it gives you a super long flight time or maybe not as long as you want, or, you know, I'm just gonna send you a couple of different kinds of props to try out just to see what works for you, what you like, you know, and how they work out. So here is some Gym Fan 3025s. And then these are super old school. These are like, rotorx came out with these first. They're 3-inch, they're 3020s. These aren't actually the rotorx branded. I think these are Eachine ones, but yeah, you can try those out and see how they work out. These are what used to be on the original rotorx Atom. They're so tiny, they're like toothpicks. Alright, and then here's all your spare parts. Here's your camera, controller, and whatnot. Alright.